Okay, there is someone you can feel all the time, and whoever this person is, they've been keeping a secret from you. Well, not only are they thinking about you morning, noon, and night 24/7, it is giving a little bit over the top thinking of you, really from the moment they wake up until they go to bed at night. But not only this, it's something happens to them whenever they look at you. They can sense it all throughout their body. It's really their body responds to your energy. And their poker face is caving in. Okay, it's so interesting because recently I was actually a little bit shocked when I channeled this message. I was talking about a house of cards that is caving in, you know? This house of cards is caving in, they're losing their composure, and guess what happens a couple days later? I'm finding this song by the Backstreet Boys, and guess what's in the lyrics? A house of cards in a hurricane. I'm like, literally, this message is for you, okay? So if you find this message, it's definitely for a reason. This is not for everyone. Definitely, your connection is very, very special. And both of you know it, you know? This is the thing. Both of you know it. Both of you feel each other in these crazy ways where you're getting all these signs of synchronicities, angel numbers. You're feeling like you're losing a little bit of grip, okay, on reality because it's something you've never experienced. But Spirit is saying follow your intuition, okay? Follow your intuition. This is a connection that is really between your souls here. So let's look at the lyrics because the lyrics are amazing. This is kind of what is going on within that person. So it goes like, I'm a house of cards in a hurricane, a reckless ride in the pouring rain. She cuts me and the pain is all I want to feel. She tears away just like a child. She drives me crazy, drives me wild. But I'm helpless when she smiles. This is the energy, you know. They are somewhat helpless. There's something about you and they don't know what it is. They're trying to figure it out. What it is about you that makes you not just special, but so special. And not just that, it's like, oh my God. And the High Priestess is at the bottom. This is literally you. You're so intuitive. You're so magical. You have somewhat of a, I would say, mysterious aura. You've got something about yourself that is otherworldly in and of itself, just when people see you. But ever since that person met you, it's not just that you are mystical, but they have been going through all sorts of mystical things where they, you know, they're waking up in the middle of the night and they can feel you, they can sense you, they feel your energy reaching out to them, and you feel their energy reaching out to them. These signs of synchronicities, angel numbers that they're seeing, they feel overwhelmed by it. But at the same time, it's almost like a rush. The Hierophant is coming up. And the Chariot underneath. This is interesting. Let me hold that thought for a second. It's like, you know that feeling when something is really, really intense with a High Priestess? It's like you scare them, not in a bad way, but how can you know so much about them even though you haven't spoken that much? How can you break through all these walls that they have so carefully built? And the thing about whenever you're connecting, okay, take how it resonates, but in that song, he's also talking about her smile, you know, he is helpless whenever she smiles. So it's like you do something to that person that they can't explain, and it makes them helpless in a way. And you know, whenever you're helpless, it is a little scary because if someone has such an effect on you, it makes you feel a little bit like, okay, if they can already do that to me from far away. What's going to happen if that really plays out? Like, if you really get into that connection on a deeper level, like, oh my God. And it's this, you have an almost otherworldly effect on them. When you met, something happens between you that shook up their entire foundation. This card is a lot about your values, your beliefs, and the culture you grew up in, like everything you grew up with, everything you thought was true and real in your reality. This suddenly got, with that hurricane, this is how I see it. Spirit gave me this analogy of a storm. You came into their life and you were almost like a storm, shaking it up, shaking up the foundation. And it's like, how can you do that? How can you do that to them? But they love it. They want to be part of your mystery. They want to be taken into this mysterious realm that you seem to be somewhat of an otherworldly creature, like a fairy, or you know what I mean? Like sometimes when you see someone and you're like, are they even real? Are you even real is what they're asking. They feel a little bit like the Page of Wands, yeah. Like lost, lost in your beauty, also lost in that aura that you have. But also when you're like a foreign land or a place they have never been to that is not of this world, or a color they have never seen, a taste they have never tasted. You're so novel, you're so new, you're so different. And this is also what makes them come back to you over and over again. And I know that you can feel it. I know that you can feel it because sometimes you get these intense energetic exchanges with them. You're seeing their name, angel numbers, synchronicities, signs. You literally have that knowing. If you know, you know. You have that knowing. They could be on your socials as well, like kind of like, not in a bad way, but in a good way where they just want to know more about you. They're curious. They find you to be very, what's the word? I'm looking for it. Not just attraction. This is way more than being attracted to your physical body. You left a lasting impression that they just can't shake off. And it's more than just thinking about someone. It's when you feel an impact on your life. Ever since you met, nothing has been the same, okay? It's really like, I feel that both of you are on the verge of something here. I had it recently. You could be seeing a lot of numbers like 1111, 111, or 222. 555 is also disruption in a sense of like timeline shift, not in a negative way. You could be seeing all kinds of synchronicities, feeling a shift within them because you can feel what's going on within them in a way. Hold on, that just flipped. And you feel, yeah. Sometimes you think nothing is happening. I am here to confirm that you're full blown in that connection, and your intuition is actually telling you like, there's more to this. There is more to this, okay? Like sometimes your spirit team is shaking you with these signs and synchronicities and feelings that you get because you're supposed to wake up to that there's more. But there is a level of mystery where sometimes we don't know how exactly it's gonna play out, like every single step. But we're not meant to know every single detail. The thing is, this is the wild part, okay? With a Chariot, this is long-term commitment, okay? This is something like marriage, building something together, moving in together. Not very fast-paced, sure, but grounded. Someone who approaches you with the right intentions. Like if you've been questioning that person's intentions, stop it, Spirit is saying, stop it, because literally, I'm telling you right now, telepathy is a real thing. You have a very strong energetic connection to them. And it's like the way you see this person right now in this moment, okay? Because that is all you have is this moment, believe it or not, defines how they're going to show up. So if you allow them even in your inner conversations, you know, when you're talking to them, when you're having these inner conversations, they're not going to waste, okay? When you're, let's say you're talking to them and you're going from that perspective of seeing them as committed, seeing this ideal version of them, seeing them as not just committed to you, but really feeling yourself into that high priestess energy where you know that you're not just second option for them. You know that they have seen your worth, your value. They have seen way beyond the veil of the physical. You know, sure, they are very attracted to you, but they have seen you for real. They have seen your soul, and they feel such a strong pull towards you that it's really, in a way, otherworldly. And I want you to acknowledge that they can feel that, because it really is like that. You can, through telepathy, you can actually motivate them to move forward, okay, with that chariot energy, to take action in the physical reality, to really take action and do something instead of just sitting there and going back and forth in their mind, because I feel they're very shy. But you can set the tone. It's in your hands. You can set the tone. You can basically see them as committed. You can engage in conversations within where you talk to them from that desired place, where you actually would like to be with them. What does that look like? You know, that version that takes the initiative, that is talking about their emotions openly with you, that is putting the cards on the table and also making you feel that you are not just some random person they met, but that they knew it from the beginning, because this meeting of you was something that was really strong, you know, so overwhelming. They knew it from the beginning, but it was taking them some time to even get through these emotions that they had never felt before. So if you want to know how to do that, if you want to harness that energy, I have a whole guide on that, my telepathy guide, because basically they're thinking whatever you're thinking, they're thinking. So whatever story you tell yourself is what is going to play out, and you can nurture that, you know, instead of focusing on, you know, because I am pulling these cards from the reality where everything is working out for you, where it gets to be that good. Temperance is falling out. Wow, right as I say that. Oh my, you're kidding me. Yeah. Listen, Spirit is saying, don't entertain scenarios of heartbreak, betrayal, you not being the first choice for them. Scenarios of, you know, in the past you might have had severe heartbreak in relationships. You felt confused, just not clear, you know, about whether that's the right choice. And with this person, it's so different. And Spirit is saying, leave the past behind. Leave all your fears, your worries behind, because it gets to be different. It gets to be different with that person. But it all starts with, how do you see them now? What do you tell yourself about them now? Because they are picking up on everything through telepathy. And if you want to know how to do it, really, I'm not joking, you're not manipulating them. You are tapping into the version of reality where they are committed to you already, where it's not even a matter of deciding, because they made their decision already. And now you get to decide what it looks like for you, how you want them to show up, okay, with that Temperance card. A balanced relationship where it's equal give and take, where you don't have to question every single thing you're doing, because you just feel that this is secure. It's safe for you to relax now in love, okay? Harness that energy. I'm telling you, every inner conversation is causing a shift. Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands, you're kidding me. This is what you can experience with them. Basically, I'm tapping into a timeline where, imagine they're like different timelines right now with them, okay? And I know you can feel it. There's potential out there. There's potential in this connection. You can feel it. There is a version of them that you have met, their higher self, you know, that is so mature with their emotions. They are able to express what they feel, and they do that openly. And I want you to focus on that version that is able to show up vulnerable in front of you, because that is what nurtures a relationship, is the ability to be vulnerable in front of each other and not hide our emotions. But sure, there can be times where we're still holding on to these patterns because in the past it has proven itself to be very good and valuable to shove everything down in other relationships. Or maybe they were vulnerable once with a partner or a couple of times, and it turned out that they used it against them. So they're still a little bit in their shell. And I want you to use telepathy in order to bring out that ideal version, because you absolutely can. You're not stuck. You're not stuck right now. But don't focus on these old patterns where I feel like people in the past made you feel like you're not good enough, or you are not enough as you are. That made you put on a show sometimes. There still might be a couple things that you might want to just let go of. Do it at your own pace. Maybe not from one day to another, but allow yourself to get familiar with the idea that this person is not like the other people, okay? Don't let the hurt or the heartbreak of the past define what is possible for you with them. There is such I'm feeling like an energy here. An energy where you get to, when you breathe and you just breathe out and you feel this relief, you feel safe with a person, you feel safe to be yourself. They're not going to have ulterior motives. They're not going to leave you hanging. There's a lot of fairness and balance. And what I love most about that future with them is they're both fiery, passionate. This is someone who's also sensual and passionate, actively pursues you and shows you that you're desired. But with the Knight of Cups, they're also someone who likes to talk about their emotions. Just like, this is what you wanted. This is what you needed. Someone who's not afraid to tap into their emotions, because as the High Priestess, you need someone who is mature, who has been, maybe they've been through a lot, yes, but they're able to reflect on it, able to learn from their lessons, So, okay, I'm getting caught up in this story, but anyways, go to the link down below if you want to know kind of what is going on behind the scenes and send a message to their heart. It's really so comforting. I'm telling you, I've been in no contact and separation on the twin flame journey. It's been tough at times, okay? I'm not gonna lie. There were times where I was really devastated and I was like, why did this happen to me? But this is all for a reason. This meeting, it's for a reason, and you don't have to suffer in the here and now moment until it shows up. You can connect on that level, and it's just, that feeling, that inner knowing that they can feel it is just, it brought me so much peace. I had to go through all kinds of forums back in the day in 2023 when that all started. And I was just devastated because I did not find a real way other than saying affirmations and rattling off affirmations. Didn't really find a way how to connect until I came up with this. So it's really beautiful. Grab it down below. But okay, also I have I have something where it's like there are lyrics coming through. This is like the message from them that they also want you to know. So this is the moment when you met. When they first saw you, something happened to them, and I'm hearing out of left field. Unexpected, out of the blue. But it's not like they didn't want it, okay? They want you to know that even though it's been very intense, that connection, it was what they had been asking for. You know, when you ask God or the universe for something and then it happens and it's like, oh my God, but it's so much. But they really wanted it, okay? So they're saying, the moment you caught my stare, I was nervous and well aware of your uncanny ability to make boys fall. This tension is killing me. Hold on, my angel, I'm lost in your eyes. Never say goodbye. I swear to God, you're all I wanted. Between you and me, say you'll never leave. This is the side of them coming through that I've been talking about. You know, the Chariot combined with the Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups is someone who deep down in their heart, they want nothing more than to have this stable, committed relationship. They want nothing more. It's their biggest dream. It's almost, I'm hearing, it sounds weird, but I'm hearing it's my guilty pleasure because they're not fully allowing themselves to want it. You know what I mean? Because I'm seeing layers of them. They have these walls. They have these defense mechanisms where they're like, I can't allow myself to want that because if I want it too much, what if I get hurt? And what if you're like the other people who hurt them? Because you've both been through a lot. They have been through their own heartbreak, even if they might seem somewhat detached or have this poker face. But actually, they do not want another situationship or something like that. This is someone who'd be moving slower, yes, with a Chariot, but moving towards something real. But once they get into this energy where they finally get more confidence about who they are, then they're also going to take action, you know, because at the end of the day, they're not stupid. They know that if you want to have something, there is a risk that you take. You know, you can't expect to get into a relationship with someone. And I also feel like it's their turn to make a move in a way, because you've made moves or you've expressed yourself. Now it's their turn to make a move, and they know what's at stake. And you know how sometimes it takes us to almost have this moment where it's like, oh my God, what if I lose her or him, to finally get it together. And you're like, you're kind of fed up with it. I know. I can feel that energy. You're like, just make the move. But honestly, give that person a little more time with a Temperance card. Give them a little bit more time to sort out things and come and correct, because you're meant to join together in that, you know, 3D reality in a way where it's like, where you don't repeat these old patterns, where you don't play out that stuff that happened in the past. Okay, so that was it for today. Oh my God, this is such a beautiful message. Honestly, I love it so much. By the way, my new Manifestor SP guide is finally out. It's really brand new. So if you're curious, I've collected all kinds of tips on how to recreate your SP, create that new story, let go of the past, you know, let go of the hurt of the past and overcome it, and actually use your doubts, your worries, your circumstances to manifest. Because you definitely can. You can use them to manifest instead of running away from them. And I also have an embodiment manual. It's basically, it helps you to stay consistent when nothing is moving in the physical. So it's really amazing. The first 20 people who grab the guide are going to get that manual. I am really happy. Finally, I can share it with you. I've been preparing that for a couple months now. So anyways, that was it. If you don't want to miss out on more videos, of course, subscribe, and I will see you around in the next one.